Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. Right here with Spears.
How y'all feel out there?
Steinberg. What time is it? Game time.
Folks, do you know where we are right now? A driver. Let's get another driver, a fat kid who has jelly stains on his shirt and his combat's not tucked in because he thinks he's special fucking fastest. Boston!
Dude,
Yeah!
I didn't hear a lot of that Wicked Kid shit here.
I don't think we were in, well, we haven't been, well, first of all, the only place we went to was Paulie's to go get something to eat.
Which was delicious.
Delicious.
And I wouldn't have gone if you didn't tell me.
Right, which is off of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, where their specialty is sandwiches. All they make is sandwiches. They have pastas, but they're really sandwiches.
And soups.
And of course, what kind of soup? Cheddar. And they got a million fucking sandwiches. But they're really known for their hot lobster roll. Now, I've had lobster rolls before, but I've never had a hot lobster roll. Take it away, Andy.
It was delicious. It was amazing. It was fantastic.
It was Barry White butt naked on your tongue.
And I told Aries this too. When you eat it, because it comes like in a hot dog bun.
Yes. Toasted, a little crunchy.
Yeah. And you eat it, and you're holding it, so you're squeezing.
And it's not that big.
But it's
filled to the brim with lobster.
Over the top.
Yes.
So you're eating it, and it has hot butter on it. And by the time you get to the very end, all that hot butter
Feel the butter
has just drained to the very end of that little hot dog bun.
on your tongue,
And that last bite,
which comes from the crack of my ass.
I don't know if I can finish now, but
I wish I could get a little Barry White music in the back. Anything you loving, baby. Yeah, I mean, it just, dude, you, it's, and I remember I said to you, how is it? And you said it best. It's lobster and butter. Like if you've ever eaten lobster and dipped it in drawn butter, that's what it was with a roll. And here's what makes it better. With bread. Who don't like bread?
and there are special seasonings on the lobster.
Yes,
too, but it doesn't take away from the flavor of the lobster.
It's bread, butter, and lobster. What the fuck is there not to like?
That shit was wicked, kid.
Wicked Kid. And it says on the fucking awning, Paulie's Crazy Wicked Good. And it was in the North End. I don't know if the North End is as bad as it used to be, but in the 80s, niggas didn't go to the North End. And I mean, and they had a sandwich there that was made after the dude who played Vito on The Sopranos. He was a regular guest there. And they made a sandwich after him. I think it was what was it called? The Paulie, something. I can't remember what it was called, but it basically was chicken cutlet, fried chicken cutlet, prosciutto, ham, provolone, and a special mayo, like a seasoned mayo.
Aioli, wasn't it like an aioli mayo?
An aioli mayo.
Yeah.
With spice. Oh. I remember I told fucker Vito before he started getting dicks rammed up his ass. He probably went down there and got that fucking sandwich and rammed it up his ass too. Fucking fat fuck, he's like a fucking parade float. Guy probably had a fucking cock in the ass and a fucking sandwich in the mouth. He was stuffed on both ends like a fucking turkey. Did you know fucking Vito was a Farouk? Oh, you knew he was a fucking Ricky O.
Yeah, I'm looking for that.
You looking for that sandwich?
Yeah, looking for the menu. Because you got a different sandwich, too. Did you?
Yeah, yes, I got that. I got two sandwiches. I got the hot lobster roll, which I ate there. And then I took the other sandwich back to the hotel for later that night after the show, which the show here at Laugh Boston is actually inside the Westin Hotel, which is fucking beautiful. The moment you walk in, they got like a movie theater size screen / TV in the lobby. So they had the fucking Patriots game on and everybody just looked like fucking giants. There's some sexy shit, man. Boston, love it. Are you still looking for it?
Yeah, I can't find it. I can't find the name. I don't even know why I have this because it never does.
It's the fucking Vito. Just say it's the fucking Vito.
Oh yeah. Well, but see, this thing comes up to DoorDash. It's not giving me the regular menu.
Yeah, no, you don't know how to look. You don't have fat man desires. You gotta have fat fingers and fat man desires. Look, and they have his picture right there with him.
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought that was Vito. That's Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri.
And the guy.
But it won't let me get into the. I can't.
To the menu?
Yeah, it won't. It keeps stopping me from getting to the.
Oh, don't even worry about it.
All right.
But yeah, man, if y'all ever come to Boston on the north end, go to Paulie's, and you can't miss it because the awning says Paulie's wicked crazy good.
But it's in a little one-way street that's barely big enough for a couple bicycles.
And I love it. It reminds me a little bit of either Italy or Philly.
Yeah.
Because a lot of places in Philly has got them narrow.
Because they were made for horse and buggy.
And it was also designed that way, kid. You know why? Because when the cops chase the niggas, there's fucking thin roads. There's not a lot of room for niggas because you know the niggas, they love to zigzag. They're fucking great runners. It's like chasing a chicken. These niggas are all over the fucking place. They zigzag, they run, they jump, they fucking. It's hard to catch the niggas. So the cops know that by the narrow streets, the niggas can only move so much. That's why the niggas don't go on the north end. Niggas got to be out in the open, kid. You ever see Rocky, kid? Remember when Stallone had to chase the chicken? It was hard. But when they fucking did the Creed movie, the black kid, he just fucking ate the bird while he was running. He ate the live bird. The bird was running around, and the fucking black guy didn't even chase him. He just fucking chased him a little bit, and then he just picked the chicken up with his mouth, and he ate the bird live. They cut that scene, kid. Pause. After we record the podcast, I'm taking Andy to Reno's, which is another spot in Boston, from Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, where the dude who runs it, big fat bald Italian motherfucker, the specialty is lobster ravioli and a red sauce and a vodka sauce. So we're doing Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives Part 2 here in Boston. Yeah, man, Boston is one of those spots where, like, when you come here, you got to have chowder. Just like when you go to Philly, you got to have a cheesesteak. You know, when you go to San Francisco, you got to fuck a dude. San Francisco.
Boy, those LGBTQ plus numbers are really coming up on our.
Big shout out to Nick. What up, Nick? How's it hanging, bruh? How them balls hanging? All right. Before we get into what we're gonna get into, I remember I told you this Jon Lovitz story, but I don't think I told it on the podcast.
No.
So I forget where I was coming back from, but I say often comics we run into each other on the road, either in airports coming and going, and I took the shuttle bus back to go get my car, and Jon Lovitz is on the bus, and he and I start chatting because, you know, I know John knows me. And I said, hey, John, man, I would love to have you on our podcast. And, you know, I do this character inspired by you. His name is Brett Butler. And he goes, because, you know, I told you, every time I see John would go, Arius Spears. So I do this character, and he's a racist 1940s radio announcer. And it's really funny because, you know, he says all this vile, racist, politically incorrect shit, but because he's got that radio charm, you know, he kind of gets away with it. So John goes, that's very funny, Aries. Do it for me now. It's like, I think I'm going to sit on the bus and just do this character with all these people around us. But John has just got that weird, funny sense of humor. So I hope we get him on the podcast, man.
I hope so too. Man, I don't know what it is about that dude, but he just, you know, that's what it is. Everybody has a lane.
Yeah.
And it's hard, but his is so unique.
Right.
And you know it's Lovitz.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like if a part came up in a movie, you would know that part was for Lovitz because it's just Lovitz.
Well, I forget until I see the movie. Wait a minute. Was he in, I think I'm fucking this up, City Slickers? No.
I don't think so.
No, it was Billy Crystal, the dude that played the other villain from Home Alone movies, and Kirby, the actor Kirby, who was with him in When Harry Met Sally.
Yep.
I don't know why Jon Lovitz wasn't in the second one.
He might have been.
I swear he was in the second one.
Let's see if I can get my phone to work this time.
Yeah, all you gotta do is
Jon Lovitz.
Would you type in Jon Lovitz?
I was going to type in. Well, no, I was going to type in Harry Met Sally.
Or you could do Siri and go, who was in City Slickers 2?
I don't even know where Siri is on this thing.
You just hold your button down.
Okay, no, that's it.
No. You don't have the circle button on that phone?
No.
Oh, you got the newest iPhone. Oh, let me pull out my iPhone, the beginning. Siri, who was in City Slickers 2?
City Slickers 2 features Bill
Yes.
Crystal, Daniel Stern, Jon Lovitz, and others.
Yeah, he was in the second one. So Kirby wasn't in the second one.
No, was Kirby? Because
Jack
Kirby passed away though.
Yes. So Kirby was in the first one.
Yeah.
And then Jon Lovitz for the second one. City Slickers. So thank you, John, for that. But yeah, I would love to have him on the podcast, man.
I would too.
So before Andy and I got together for this weird scheduling here in Boston, one show Sunday, one show today, Monday.
shows.
Well, 2 shows Sunday, 2 Monday.
Yeah.
I'm used to coming home on a Monday. And now we're here on Monday with 2 shows tonight. And then I'll be home on Tuesday. But on Saturday, I had to go to the South, Mississippi. I'm from Mississippi. That's a great sound effect, isn't it? Well, how many beers you guys want? Let me get 2 Coronas. Okay. Black bitch from Mississippi. Come here. What you want? I'm from Mississippi. Get on your knees real quick. Okay. Here you go, fellas. But it was a casino. I was at the IP casino, and I got to tell you, it was better than I expected. And what fucked me up was usually when I do casino gigs, they want people back on the floor. They don't want them in the showroom too long because they want you gambling. God damn it, give me that money. But I asked the dude because I hadn't talked to anybody. I said, "How much time you want me to do?" And first of all, I said, "What's the attendance?" Motherfucker said 1,000 people. I said, "What?" I was expecting 2, maybe 300, most. He said, "Yeah, the theater holds 1,200. You sold 1,000 seats
During Thanksgiving week.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's a big
And
number.
I was just thinking, oh my God, I got 1,000 niggas who can't read. I'm about to perform in front of. But you know what? They were good, man. They were good, but I also think a lot of people came in from other parts, the Carolinas, New Orleans, because it didn't have that slavery Candyland feel. It just didn't. And I've been to this casino before, a million years ago. The minute I walked in the lobby, I went, I've been here before. And it was a cool-ass casino. And then I said, time-wise, what you want me to do? I was expecting 45 minutes. Motherfucker said, you contracted for an hour and a half. Like, damn. And not that I can't do it, because I ended up doing an hour and 45. But I had to dust off some old jokes. But between some of the old shit, the new shit, and then crowd work, I ended up doing an hour 45. I had no opener, which always feels weird because this is what you come out to. All of a sudden, the house lights get dark and somebody just goes, ladies and gentlemen, Aries Spears. And you just come out cold and there it is. But, it was great, man. It flew by. And I remember at one point I was on stage and some of the people in the crowd was like, yo, pointing at something. Like, look behind you. And a big spider was coming down on a web right next to me. And I just took the mic and knocked the spider out the fucking web. And I said, damn, you southern niggas is that scared? Nigga, we done been through slavery in the 60s. Think I'm worried about a fucking spider? So, yeah, it was cool, man.
But if they didn't tell you about the spider.
I mean, I might have saw it and went, oh. But I wasn't going to, look, I'm on stage, I'm being watched. Maintain your cool at all times. Don't ever jump, nigga. Because if you jump, then they know you jumpable.
Dude, I don't want to bring this up, but I want to bring it up because we never talked about it on the podcast.
I know where you're going. Holy fuck you. I know exactly where you're going with this.
Want to talk about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Was that in Pleasanton?
No, yes, Pleasanton.
Pleasanton. We go to, there's this bar. And it's across the way, and all the employees go to this bar afterwards. And it's a locals bar. It's not and so there's some just local weird Pleasanton characters that come out.
And they allowed a dude with a fucking dog in the fucking bar.
But It's not a huge dog, but it's not a little dog. It's not like a Chihuahua or anything like that. It's a
Which would have scared me just as much.
It's a medium-sized dog. And you were sitting and you were talking and you didn't realize that the guy had walked behind you and the dog is like right next.
I mean, this nigga is sniffing my arm hairs, nigga. I could feel the wetness from his nose on my arm. And it didn't help that I was a little tipsy. Dude, dude, I literally fell out my seat, nigga. Like, I tried to move. I was scared. And I fell all the way off my seat. The shit, it was so embarrassing that I know if I had some potential pussy there, I wouldn't have got laid that night. Niggas had to help me up. I looked like an old man, nigga, that was just knocked out by a younger man.
Legs went up above his head.
Nigga, my Timbs was touching the ceiling, nigga. This motherfucker.
And I wanted to give you a hard time about it, but
I swore you were going to.
But dude, at the moment, it was so like I had embarrassment. I was embarrassed.
Let me tell you something.
It wasn't a normal fall.
It was bothering me that you didn't fuck with me. Because I'm going, this nigga's a comic. He's supposed to be lighting my balls on fire right now.
But the way you felt first, I was worried that you were going to be hurt at first.
Oh, nigga.
And then afterwards, when the dude had to help you up.
Dude, it wasn't like let me be honest. It wasn't like I fell out of my chair. It was like I was knocked out of my chair. Like I was sitting down and Mike Tyson cocked back and said, "This is for my daughter, nigga." Wow. And knocked me out of my chair.
And then I didn't know if you were going to be mad at the dude with the dog.
I was thoroughly mad.
I had a lot of thoughts in my head at the time, and none of them were about just making fun of you.
I wanted to curse out the management. Like, why is there a dog in here?
But when you're laying on the floor, it's hard to say that shit. So what you did is you got up to your seat and you kind of did it under your breath. And I've always had this in my head. Like, I wanted to bring it up on the podcast, but there was no better time than despite like tell everybody to never lose your cool.
Right. Oh, so goddamn embarrassed. Oh. Thank God there was nobody there I was trying to have sex with. Because the pussy would have dried up, nigga. It looked so, I don't want to use the word gay, but man, it wasn't manly at all.
If that would have been recorded, that would have went viral.
Nigga. Oh, nigga. I'd have been the meme of the year.
You next to Jordan crying.
Oh, God. They would have put Jordan on my face, nigga. Oh, you found it.
No, but I don't have the other piece. This piece. I'm missing this piece.
Oh, your piece.
Yeah, I left it in Jersey.
Okay. You want to get to the meat?
Yeah, let's do it.
Which one you want to talk about first?
I don't care because they're both good.
Dude, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I caught where HBO was advertising this DMX documentary, which chronicled his last tour, the year he died. And I was going to tell Andy to check it out. I guess I did tell you.
You said you didn't tell me to check. You just said it was on HBO.
Right.
And so then when I was at home I had a few extra hours this week, so I did check out that.
Right. And lo and behold, I downloaded it and watched it on the plane over from Gulfport, Mississippi to here. And I talked to Andy. I just called him up like I normally do when I touch down. And he told me he saw it without me even asking. I was like, oh, shit, what a great coincidence. So we could talk about that. Here's one of the, I don't have many notes, but one of the things I noticed. That part where he goes into, I forget the record company, the new company he's with. Was it Def Jam?
I don't remember which company.
Right, but yeah, he's basically going over with his lawyer and his manager the deal points and the specifics for his tour. And he showed you exactly what not to do.
Yes.
And he showed you the difference between him and people like him and a Jay-Z. So when Jay-Z goes, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman, you got to handle your business. And the guy asked DMX, so do you want to hear about the deal or you just want to ink it? And X was like, yo, let's just ink it. And his lawyer goes, no, let's go over it. Because there might be things that if you don't understand and you don't do it, then you'll be like, well, I wasn't told this. So you need to be told this. Moral of the story, kids, this shit is a business. And if you don't have the right people, lawyers, managers who have your back, and you should have your own back first, this is how you get screwed. This is how you end up broke. Now, he ended up not as financially stable as he should have been for a lot of other reasons too. But this was major.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think that's really important, though. Stress that what we do is an art form. All entertainers are artists.
Right.
But the entertainment business that you show your art form in is the business.
Right.
And that business wants as much money out of you as possible.
And will try to get it if you are not on your toes.
And he was taken advantage of, before, I think, in the past on other deals. We know that about the music industry in general.
Right.
So you know what part that bothered me, though, that I saw in there? Even probably more than that.
Hold on. Before you say it, I hope you say what I think you're going to say, because that was something that bothered me, too. Go ahead.
Was it the part where the guy asked for a picture to his team, and he said, I'm in the flow, or I'm in, I forgot how he worded it, that he was ready to go on stage. He was in the zone.
Oh, no, I thought, okay, but go ahead.
Okay, he was in the zone. He goes,
Right.
I'm in the zone. He goes, I don't want to do pictures. And his manager, still had the dude take the picture.
Right.
And then afterwards he goes, I told you I was in the zone. He goes, and you still took the picture. Well, he goes, he's part of this and this. And he goes, yeah, but I told you I was in the zone.
Right.
Have people that prioritize you and what your needs and your wants over the business.
That's what a good manager and agent should do.
Supposed to do.
Right.
And I saw that. As soon as I saw that, I go, oh, man, these people are working for themselves, not working for him. What was your?
Back when he was going over the deal points, and this is why I say, this is why Chris Rock's joke was so powerful. I love black people. I hate niggas. And I'm not trying to shit on DMX because, listen, he said he was the voice of the people. And I don't want to drift off too much because I'm breaking into a whole nother point. But bottom line is, again, niggas come with a mentality. Niggas come with a behavior. And I'm not trying to knock it because, look, whatever you're born into, your situation, your circumstances, that's your world. But at some point, and I love the term generational curses. At some point, you got to break that. But it's hard to do because it's passed down. It's inherited. Get the fucking kid out of the room when the deal is being gone over.
Yeah.
And you could see it where his son was doing kid shit. Then that's not his son's fault. You take a kid to a fucking new surrounding, in their mind, that's Disneyland. But the kid is jumping and crying and playing with shit and making noise. And you could see when they cut to the lawyer's face, the manager or the agent's face, the eyes were rolling. Like, there are things that are being said that are important that you need to hear. You need to digest. And the kid screaming and jumping. The kid don't belong in a business deal. Take the kid out the fucking room. But again, niggas. Like when you grow up in the ghetto and a certain behavior and a certain attitude, it's why you go, let's just ink it without you reading it. It's why you have your kid jumping in around because you don't know better. But real business savvy, the kid don't belong in the room. Yes, nigga, read it. Don't just ink it. And part of what makes DMX so lovable, what made him so lovable, and this is where black people, and this is where you got to think about the great Dave Chappelle. He kept it real, yo. He was a real nigga. The streets love real. But Dave Chappelle, when keeping it real goes wrong, there are times where you have to, and I don't want to say not be real because it makes you seem like you not trying to be authentic or you being a phony, but there's a certain time when you have to conduct differently. You got to think differently. You got to act differently. And if you don't, it will cost you. And I of all people, need to take a page out of that book. Because people call me, yo, Aries, you're so real. And I love that because it means that I'm authentic. And I'm not putting on a front. But it also can hinder you. And you got to know how to navigate that. You know?
That scene that was an important scene. Obviously, that's why I was in there. But going back to what I said about when your managers and when your people around you don't have your concern first. When he said just ink it, if you had a manager that was making you a manager or agent that's making you money that you trust like family,
Right.
yeah, maybe you can walk in. Maybe you still read it first, but you go, yeah, let's ink it, man. Whoever, you checked it out. We're solid. This is good. You would sign it? Yeah, okay, ink it. But when you, like that scene when I told you that they didn't have his back when when the other person who worked for the company was
Live, was it Live Nation or whatever they're from?
Yeah. Was more important that he got that picture than when he said, I'm in the zone, I'm on the stage, I'm on the performance. You have to question everything that those people do for you then.
Yeah. Because
you're no longer there's other priorities that are creeping in. And that's what there's little tells, man. People give away who they are.
Right. You know, you should always be careful with, because some managers are, hey, this is strictly manager-client relationship. That's as far as we go. There's no extras here. And then there are some managers that are actually friends with their clients. I mean friends. Like they almost take on a either brother-to-brother or a father-to-son relationship, and you trust them. You say, yo, I trust you. Does that mean you should go, let's just ink it because you're my manager, we're friends, I trust you, and I don't think you would put me in a position to be screwed? Yeah, you can, but you shouldn't.
You should read it first.
No matter what.
You should always read it first.
Right.
Because you even if they could have missed something.
Right.
But read it first, know what you're getting into. That's why I said I'd always read it first, but I would be secure with someone. But as soon as you see other people have priority over what your needs and your wants are, man, you have to question everything at that moment. I wouldn't. Everything.
And let me go back to something. And this is why I go, there's degrees to everything. When you look at Jay-Z, he's the ultimate businessman. He knows how to do it. But he's also very, I don't know if he's still, but very street too. You know what I mean? Like he knows how to play both sides of the field. I saw a great music documentary called It Was Written about Nas. I downloaded recently. That's another must watch. Nas is the same way. Queensbridge, very street, but Nas is a business dude. X was so hood that the business savvy it wasn't there. And I don't know if you follow or heard about this rapper Young Dolph, who was recently killed in his hometown of Memphis.
Yeah.
Someone played the clip where he was on Drink Champs, and Nori said something very important. He goes, respect your hood. Yeah, go visit your hood, but get out of your hood, because the ones that'll kill you are the people from your own hood because of envy and jealousy. And Young Dolph was so hood that, his hood got him. Now, and I'm not saying that's the same for everybody, but, the one thing in watching this documentary, DMX, man, there are certain people who just, and I think Ja Rule mentioned it, they just touch you in ways that other people can't. Maybe great performers, but there's something in terms of a relatability when motherfuckers just, some of the girls that were bawling when DMX hugged them, when he was on stage and he would do, I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up. They cut to people in the audience crying as they're lip syncing the song. Because, and I remember when we did the DMX tribute episode and I played some of that song and I told the story about, me and Ish. That song touches people's core because they've been through that. They know that pain. And when DMX ends every show with, all right, and we pray. Man, there's almost a spirituality that he touches in people the same way Tupac did, Biggie did. And not every artist has that ability, man.
No, when he was back in Yonkers and he went out that night and the two young men.
Right. Right.
They were crying. I mean,
dude,
when he was hugging them, they were crying. But like you just said, it's also a curse because you want to go back. you want to, he's sitting in front of that convenience store that he used to sit at before. Dude, he got. I can't say it this. I told someone I think it's all right to go back visit like you just said, but you got to be a visitor at some point, and not still live in that same place because it's not going to get you to the levels that you want to go. I had someone close to me and I said, hey. They had an opportunity to go to college, and they were worried about staying in their place and where they were and the people and their friends. Right. And I said, listen, if you stay here, you're going to do what everybody else has done. And I said, and it was a female that I'm close to, and I said, you're going to get pregnant, you're going to end up staying here, and then you're going to end up getting married, and you're going to stay here, and you're never going to leave. And all those things that you're thinking about right now that you could go do, but you can do them later, you're not ever going to do them. And she said, I know, and I'm going to go.
She never went?
She's pregnant. She got pregnant. And she's here. She's going to be there forever now. And that's, you have to kind of,
And, it's something cozy and comfortable about what you know. It's almost like if you got a favorite sweater that you like to put on or a favorite pair of slippers, it's just something about being where you're comfortable that feels good. But my thing is, I like nice shit. And if you come up in the hood, there ain't nice shit. The people you might know the people, you might know the surroundings. But I like nice shit. But this is, again, DMX was so fucking hood. But I'm also going, as part of that, had to be the drugs. Because if he was 100% clean and sober, you still, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be in front of the place where they sell crack.
Well, the other thing too, though, when he did leave, and yeah, this is like, I'm never suggesting leave everybody behind, don't talk to anybody again. Right. I'm just saying you have to get out of that.
Sometimes you have to do that too.
Yeah, you do have to do that, and people keep dragging you back in.
Right.
But he lived in Arizona, and I was in Phoenix when he was living in Phoenix, and he got fucked with. Right. So I understand why you'd want to go back to where people love you, right, because you're in this other place where you're hoping for a better place. He said that he was driving through Arizona, saw the sunset, so this is where God must live, however he put it. And then you get fucked with. Yeah, you're gonna go back to where people make you feel better. I get that, but he had other issues when he was in Arizona as well. Right. So. Man, it's a case that it's going to repeat itself if you keep putting yourself in the same situation, though.
And then there was the moment where he was in the car and he's talking to his current baby mother, and he's like, "Man, these bitches are money hungry, and they're trying to get me for money. Everybody wants something." And listen, he keeps going, the devil. He refers to the devil. Whatever the devil takes, God will give you back. The devil. Part of me is going, all right, dog, I get you. But at some point, when do you accept responsibility? The devil can't be doing all of this, nigga. You're smoking crack. You whatever you're doing, or whatever kind of hard drugs you're drinking. Like, nigga, this can't all be the devil. Or is he meaning the temptation? You know what I'm saying? Because what I have a hard time with is you going, the devil, and God will rescue. Well, if you're not doing things that put you in these positions.
If you keep going back to the devil's house,
man.
If you go to the devil's house, he's going to fuck with you.
Right.
And then you got to come back out and go back over to God's house and go, hey, man.
Nigga, you got 80 kids by 40 different women. Like, come on, man. The devil ain't making you pull your dick out and put it into women and come in them and, you know what I mean?
What did you think about his son in the video, his oldest?
Dude, I was going to ask you because I know you got, two boys. That moment when, I forget the chick's name, the Black Zelia chick who does the fixing of the relationships. Yeah. But he's in the studio and his son is saying, Dad, stop doing what you're doing. And DMX, this is how you know you got a problem. DMX basically said, nigga, I can't stop doing what I'm doing. I just meet you at the grave. Damn.
Yeah, I can't do this if you come with conditions.
I can't. Right. Like, a condition is, please stay alive for me.
Please stay, please not be fucked up.
And X was so, I'll meet you at the graveyard. Damn.
mean, I don't know. I've never been addicted to crack, but I know people that have
Right.
been, and dude, I don't know how people get through it because I knew this one girl. She was an ex-crackhead. She said, and she had a really good job, and we were just fucking around one day. I didn't know that was what her problem was. We were talking, and I said that we made some jokes. It was a group of us, and we made some jokes about crack, whatever. And she just kind of pulled me aside. She goes, I have to go. I can't have these conversations. She goes, because it kind of triggers me. She goes, look at my ears right now. And I looked at her ears, and she goes, they're red, huh? And I go, yeah. She goes, I can feel like it's something about like even hearing the word like talking about crack. And when she would do crack, her she would get like this feeling, and her ears would get red when just talking about it started making her feel that way.
Right.
So I don't know, man. When something holds you back your kid can't tell you that I can't have a dad on crack, and you're like, man, I'd rather do the crack, and I'll meet you later.
Wow.
I mean, that's the drug, though. That's how powerful. I mean, is what you could say whatever you want about him at that moment, but that's the drug talking, not him.
Right.
So I don't know how people get past that. I really don't. I don't know how they do it, and for the people that have and have found their way out, man, more power to you, because I don't know. I've had little problems in my life, but never anything that was going to pull me away from. Maybe that night it could have pulled me away from my loved ones, but not long term.
You said the ending kind of teared you up a little bit?
Fucking got me, dude, because I wasn't expecting to end there, because they ended as sad. It ended as sad as it could on the highest note that it could. At that moment, he's... Gladys Knight is playing, and he's feeling the music. And then you see his love for music at the same time that I'm watching this. I'm like, This isn't just a rapper, man. This is someone. Look at his love for music. It's not just about being an MC. He was emotional about the music. You could see how music influenced his life and got him to where he was.
Right.
And he's enjoying it. He's like, just let's take
Have
this
a moment.
Let's be in this together. Let's
Right.
do this. And he felt like he felt life at that
Right.
moment. And he's in there, and you just see him lean back. And then when it fades to black, dude, even talking about it. I mean,
Right.
I don't want to be fucked up, but even talking about it, you see that moment, and we all have that piece in our life where there's a moment that you have that is great, and if you don't recognize it and try
Right.
to grab it, fuck, that's what happens.
Yeah, I kind of thought they were alluding to his death when they did the part where it was like they kept going with nobody can find him. We've been calling him. It's been 2-3 days, and he's not picking up. So I thought that was the moment where they were going, boom, boom, boom. He died. I didn't expect them to do that. And listen, man, like I said, his power to touch people. And I don't want to minimize or seem like I'm shitting on people with problems, because Lord knows I got my own.
We all got them.
Yeah. I even feel funny saying this, but again, it's like, what can your expectations be when it's like, dude, you're doing things, crack and hardcore drugs and all of this shit. There's really no, surviving is almost a miracle. Luck even, if you keep doing that, and just, it would have been nice if something could have made him stop.
Yeah, but once it gets a hold of you, and when everything else is going wrong, and that makes you feel good, even though it makes you feel horrible afterwards, but it makes you feel good for that moment.
Right.
I can understand why people will run, because they want to feel good again.
Right.
But that's why I said that moment at the end, when he feels like he catches that moment, but he can't stay in that moment because too much is going on around him. And it's about, I think it also has to do with being able to, how you control what's around you. And
Right.
I don't know that we all take in our surroundings the same way and how much they affect us the same way.
Right.
I think we're all different in that manner. And for whatever reason, he couldn't get past everything that was going on, because you saw like he had nothing but love for certain things. I mean, for things he cared so
Right.
much about him.
His youngest son, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And still, that's why, again, when I say how powerful that is, that as much as you care, as much as you love, as much as you can see the humanity, and so at that moment, let's have this moment, but that shit will still pull you back.
Dude, it's like I said, maybe because I'm a comedian and we live this existence. To me, I know how powerful humor is. I know that it makes people, same with music, it gets people through tough times, it can heal. But because we live it, breathe it all day, every day, sometimes I don't see the power in it as much as I do things that I'm not in. Like when they started the documentary and I'm watching it and they show X in the SUV and then he goes to a certain part of Yonkers and the window rolls down and I forget which song it was, but one of his songs came on. I was in my chair bobbing, nigga. Like I was like, God damn, that's right. You know, like that shit. It's like even if you don't want to, there's an electricity to certain songs, to certain artists that force you to move when you didn't think you were gonna move. And then they would cut to like a woman made a portrait of him and brought it to him. You know how many pictures I have in my crib?
Yeah.
Of people who've made pictures of me. And I just go, that is powerful, man. That someone takes time out to fucking draw you, paint you, and bring it to you. Everybody don't get that. And I'm not trying to put myself on this high, but yo, you gotta move, motherfuckers, for them to go, yo, you mean that much to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's wild, man. It's wild. You know? And same thing with the Nas doc. They would play certain hits of his, and I just was like bobbing, like, this nigga's incredible.
Because, you know, if your day, I mean, this is oversimplifying it, but if your day is like cooking, I'm just gonna say your day, you go in and you make your day.
Right.
Sometimes that comedy, that music, that's just an ingredient that you needed in your day to make it that day.
Right. Without it, your gumbo ain't right.
Yeah.
That's powerful shit, man. So yeah, man, rest in peace, dog. That was yeah.
I'm not saying anything because I'll start fucking.
I heard it. I saw it, man. You almost about to give me the
dude. It was
big signals.
If you don't watch it for any other reason,
right?
And if you're not even you're not even an X fan,
right?
Watch it for that moment,
right?
Because there's something in there about life and spirituality and who you are. There's a moment there that is this. It's the most human moment I think I ever seen captured on a documentary.
Yeah, I equate that to, you know, like I said, the Tyson documentary by James Toback, when Mike was talking about, like I said, anytime he talked about cuss, and you know, it's just for all the air quotes savagery that Mike was known for in and out of the ring. He's a baby. That meant something to him.
It's all about our humanity, man. To me, it is. To me, it is. And let's
go fuck with me.
Let's move on. Let's move.
Yeah.
Let's get to this next.
All
one.
right. Speaking of which, the harder they fall. Yeah, back to some hard shit.
Yeah, man, shit, right there.
Burt Bridgewater here. All right. Harder they fall. Everybody was recommending this black western, and you forget that there were black cowboys. So this ain't like no fairy tale Star Wars shit made up.
Well, no, and the terminology cowboy comes from black men that were cow hands were white men.
What niggas invented
cowboys.
Harder they fall. The opening scene got me. When the little kid who now is the man with the cross that was embedded in his forehead.
Yeah.
I love, and this really felt, and you tell me, it had a spaghetti western feel to it.
It did have a spaghetti western feel.
Yeah, when he shot that dude and they broke it up, bow, harder, bow, he flies in the air, bow, he hits the ground, fall, boom, boom, boom. I was like, yo, yeah, you got me. Man food immediately.
Spaghetti western, but did you feel a touch, and I'm just asking, a touch of Quentin Tarantino influence on it at all?
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
Like if he had directed it, I wouldn't have been surprised.
But there was certain things that I really saw a different technique from a different director. There's things that are coming up in this as we talk about.
I mean, like again, when they opened the movie and I'm sitting here going, it's one of those things where you're going, are they about to No. What? I'm like, they about to shoot the mama and the daddy and cut the kid's head with a rep.
I thought he was gonna kill the kid.
I did too.
Yeah.
But I said, oh yeah, there's some
But the silence, where you never hear him speak, that's what starts the whole, gives you that
Right.
that suspense.
Right.
Yeah, and then the movie's suspenseful from the moment on.
I love that Jay-Z produced it. Because what I liked about this was the same thing I liked about Django, which was it's set in a certain time, but the music was modern.
That was
That was so cool to me. Like you just, it's the West, but it's the West with, of course, our flavor in it.
but it wasn't modern to the point where it was today. It was modern where it was in the point. I mean, it is today, but it was modern in a point where it still fit. It wasn't like they took a top 20 song
Right.
and put it into the movie. It still fit the movie itself.
Right. I was a little worried because I was like, God damn, a lot of singing and shit.
Yeah.
Like, is this a fucking musical or a Western? But they put just enough. And a part of me is going, look, man, it's our culture. Niggas sing and dance. We do it well. So, we don't want to deny our culture. But I'm like, come on, don't turn this into a fucking musical. So they did enough. But I was worried at first. Like, why are they singing every fucking chance they get? But they did enough.
That's a really long pause right there.
Yeah, thought you was going.
About singing? About the.
Well, just if.
No, I'm telling. Here's where I am at the beginning of the movie, and I don't know if everybody notices at the beginning of the movie or not how vibrant and beautiful the West looks at this part in the movie.
Right.
Not in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
After we go to the, it cuts after the kid, and now we're in the town.
Right.
And how beautiful the colors. It's popping off the screen.
Yeah. Yeah. I particularly loved. And listen, when you grow up with somebody, you almost feel like you were either raised with them or they're like connected to you, like almost like a little sister. How far Regina King has come. From being that girl on 227, which I was damn near a kid, pretty much a kid, to where she is now. It's hard for me to look at her the same way I look at Alyssa Milano. Both are hot, but like I knew you when you was, But in this movie, she was sexy as fuck. With that purple, fucking Regina King was sexy as a motherfucker.
And mean.
And that's part of what I loved. That character, the way she put that with that attitude, and she's playing a bad person.
Yeah.
But I forget that moment where she's explaining to the light skinned chick about remember she's cutting the apple,
Yeah.
the skin off the apple. She showed her acting chops, dude.
Yeah. No, this was everybody. The people that were in this movie were allowed to really give it to the movie. Like
Right.
there was great acting in this movie. It wasn't just pieces. I mean, I thought the whole movie was well acted by everybody in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, when you think of course, the movie I was in with Jerry Maguire, she was brilliant. Enemy of the State, she was brilliant. But this was just, to me, another level of, because of the way she played the character. And when she told that story, you kind of saw as a backstory where that came from.
Well, and you only had an opportunity in this movie because it's such an ensemble piece.
Right.
You had very small amounts of time to make that impact in the movie. But everybody who had that opportunity took it.
Man, what'd you think of the comedian, Dion Cole?
Oh, I thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah. Yeah, I did too. I did too.
And a lot of times when you see comedians in movies,
Right.
I think most comedians can act. I do, because they're performers anyway. They're on stage. But a lot of times you'll see someone and they're acting and they're doing a good job, but they're not using their whole face. They're not using their like they're not as expressive as they could be or matching the character.
Do you think that comes from maybe they're just not really that great of an actor.
They're not haven't been acting that long.
Right, right.
He got it though. He got his
Yeah.
face. He like I felt like he was I felt he was in that time period.
Right.
So I thought he did a good job.
You know, the character I really liked too was the lesbian that was uncomfortable wearing the dress to rob
Oh
the
yeah,
bank.
yeah.
I thought-
Cuffy,
Cuffy, I think. I like that character, man. But I also liked it again. Certain actors, as they say, these young kids, you got to give their flowers to. Delroy Lindo.
Dude's always been a great actor.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like he gets some of the attention
No.
that he should. Like him, Giancarlo Esposito. There are certain every time somebody talks about top tier black actors, same names: Denzel, Sam Jackson, Morgan Freeman, Don Cheadle. People don't really mention Forrest Whitaker, Delroy Lindo, Giancarlo Esposito.
I think Forrest Whitaker gets.
Do you?
He's been in amazing movies.
Yeah, but it seems like his name is never on the tip of people's tongues like that.
But yeah, maybe you're right on him. But he's had such an interesting career.
Yeah, he's been consistent as a motherfucker.
Delroy, though, in this, I thought it was great because I don't think that he gets a chance to play a lot of characters besides the character that he usually gets. That's one of the
They're
problems.
like neutral, like a detective or something that doesn't cause you to dig deep.
Well, that's why I liked him in Get Shorty.
Fucking that movie, man.
Dude, I'm going to tell you this. I know you're not.
I gotta watch it again.
Dude, there's so many people in that movie that makes that movie great. But to Get Shorty, he played a drug dealer who wanted to be in the movie business, and it was fucking great how he played it. He's a great actor, and he plays very like the parts that I don't think allow him to expand
Right.
on who he is. And I thought he like in this,
Right.
awesome. And he had to take a back seat in this role though too, because there was everybody else is in the forefront, and he's
Right.
kind of that character that's one of the main characters, but off to the side. And he still played it well. He didn't steal scenes. He took what was there for him, and he took it and did well with it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. The one dude who's called himself the quickest gun.
Oh.
And then he lost the gunfight to, I wish I knew this young actor's name, but he was in Judah and the Black Messiah, the
Yeah.
guy who was the one responsible for Fred Hampton getting killed. He cheated that moment though, didn't he?
Yeah, he cheated.
Because that's what Cuffy said. Like, you cheated to count.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't get that. I thought he lost.
No, and he says, I don't know why people take so long to count.
Right. Yeah, I hated to see him die, man. I
Yeah.
liked him.
But there's a lot into that's like a little there's like a fable in there, You're the fastest gun. You're cool. I'm gonna count.
Flashy.
Flashy. And the other dude was just like took too long to count, and he
Right.
was wrong.
Right.
But isn't that how kind of life is sometimes?
But then Cuffy ended up being the fastest.
Yeah.
That was so fucking
And Cuffy
cool how
always
they played
knew
that.
that she was the fastest, too.
Right, right.
Because she was sitting there, and when they're in that like that scene where they're all in a circle, and she says something about who the fastest is, and in the mirror, who do you the fastest? She goes, when I look in the mirror, I know who the fastest is.
Right.
Or something to that.
Right.
And so I knew that character already believed that they were the fastest, and then proved to be right. But to go back to the other thing, that's how life is. You could be cool, you can be the fastest. But someone can still cheat you out of that.
'Tis his life. Yeah, I gotta see. I think I'm gonna watch Get Shorty again, and just really pay attention. It's just not a riveting movie to me.
Dude, I think it's one of the best. It's such a great. But everybody knows my weird take for movies anyway that listens
Right.
to this podcast. But I wanted you to know that I had someone hit me up and say that they were watching Buckaroo Banzai. They bought it just to watch over the Thanksgiving.
See, you move, niggas.
No, they wanted because I said it was. We've admitted that it's one
Right.
of those great. To me, it's a great bad movie.
Right.
To you, it's just a bad movie.
Incidentally, when we go to Miami for New Year's, we should have Neri on the podcast again.
Yeah.
And Neri suggested that I watch this, and I did, so that when we have Neri on, we could possibly discuss this. Stallone came out with a director's cut of Rocky IV.
No, I didn't know that.
And like Zack Snyder's Justice League, it changes the movie.
Does it?
And I said at first, I thought Rocky IV was the weakest Rocky of all the Rockies. Now I still wouldn't put it up there with the best, but it's better to me.
Is it a lot longer?
Yeah, a little bit longer. But he added certain things that it kind of needed. Otherwise, like I said, it played like a boom, 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 the end. But now with the added scenes, it changes the
There's
the
another
rhythm.
boom boom.
Yeah, there's some. It's not just right, left, right. It's right, left, uppercut, fade. Feint, jump back, slip, dip. It's a lot of other things that Mick taught me. Yeah, Rock. It's a different movie, Rock. You got trained by that spook kid, so therefore you had spook moves.
Did you watch them back to back though? Did you see the original one?
I remember it. It's so fucking
Yeah, for
bland
you-
and
for
what
you,
it is.
yeah.
I remember it.
Yeah, for you too. You remember every scene in a movie.
Yeah, there's a.
This is my brain. It doesn't remember every scene. I'm gonna have to go watch them back to back.
It's less montagey.
Okay, and the montage is
That's classic '80s shit. You got to do that.
yeah. There's always an '80s montage, but Rocky was the. I mean, seriously, I don't know how many minutes of the montage, but there's some movies in that Rocky
Right.
that are like 25% montage.
But you know what? Rocky, the first one, wasn't really montagey. I mean, yeah, there's the dan.
That's 1970s.
Yeah, there you go. '80s was the birth of the montage.
Yeah, and then they had stuff to go back to all the other stuff that he had
Right.
been through. So that's where, yeah. All right, I'll check it out. But
Yeah, speaking of which, Bloodsport with Van Damme was '80s. Had to be, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it was, or it crept right in. But no, it was 80s.
right. I was recently watching that, and then that moment where, of course, they had the montage of him fighting various fighters. And no fire, I fight to survive. Kumite, kumite, kumite.
Yeah, it's 88.
Yep, knew it. Yeah, that montage in Bloodsport. Okay. I think I'm done.
Okay, here's the reason I brought up all the colors, and I love this part.
And in the film?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the Blacktown.
With all the colors?
Remember when they go to the
The
White
white
Town?
town, everything was just white.
Cream colored and white.
Oh, you motherfuckers, boy.
Did you see?
Y'all need us. Y'all need us.
Did you see? But I mean, from the beginning, because I was looking at it,
Right.
I was appreciating all the colors, and I was like, "This is." And I'm colorblind, so colors, especially solid colors, bright colors,
Right.
it really pops to me. And I was like, "This is really beautiful. The way they filmed this is really beautiful." And I'm starting to watch it. I'm like, "Nah, they're gonna show us something," because in westerns, the only colors that you would ever really see in those old westerns was maybe like a faded yellow or a
Right.
faded red, and then it was always brown. It's always brown. And so when they went into the town, and they still did. This is what I liked about the director. He still did the town beautifully. I mean,
Right.
there was ornate things cut out on the wall. Was very
Right.
the bank, the interior was very, very, very well
Detailed.
made, detailed out.
Yeah.
But it was all white and beige and white and beige and white.
Right.
And I love that moment because it really the contrast from the two cities.
Right.
And then when said about the withdrawal, well, maybe
Right.
you want to go back to the south. It just showed that everything in there was
And
perfect.
you think that was on purpose?
Oh, definitely on purpose, 100% on purpose, and that's where when I said there's these little details where I said, like spaghetti western, a little bit of Quentin Tarantino influence, but this specialty, I saw it from a different eyeball because it showed it in such a different way, and just to give Hispanic people a little bit of credit, especially Mexicans and little barrios, we have those colors too, and those are my favorite. Like when you go to a barrio neighborhood and you see all those colors, those yellows, those purples, all the beautiful colors in a neighborhood like that. I think that's beautiful. But that's why when they move to white neighborhoods they paint the patios, which I painted my patio periwinkle, which is a beautiful color, all the neighbors called and complained to the neighborhood association on me. So
We know how to make colors possessed, pito, cotito, Teresa Mendoza.
but I loved it, man. That movie, from beginning to end. It start from the beginning. It gets you. If you're not in it at the beginning,
Yeah,
man,
no,
you
listen.
give up.
Again, that opening scene, you kill the mama and the father, and you cut the child in the forehead. You got me.
And when he says they have nothing to do with it, and you're really thinking that this guy was
Right.
like some other kind of gangster that did something, you don't get where this movie is going to go at all.
Right.
And then you start to figure it out as you move on.
Yeah, Harder They Fall. Great recommendation. Thank you to all those who did so. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. Anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
Just where we're going to be. And you gave it away, too, on Miami. So please, guys, if you're in that Miami area, we're going to be the 30th through the 30th, 31st, 1st, and 2nd, all here at the end of the year. 31st, that last show is the New Year's show. So if you want to come out. But before that, we'll be at Summit City Comedy Club in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the 17th through the 19th. And then we're going to be, we'll get into January's dates as we, on the next one.
Cool. Okay. Coming up, this is Chris Lee. He says, "What up, Mr. Spears? Here's my song I released on iTunes called Getaway." He's 23 and he's from Baston. Oh, look at that. And I've been doing music for about 5 years. I hope I can vibe with what I do. I hope you can vibe with what I do. His name's Chris Lee on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Instagram _ITSCHRISLEE. TikTok _ITSCHRISLEE. The song is called Getaway. Enjoy. Shit.
There we go.
There we go.
How y'all feel out there?
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. If you'd like to know who's responsible for this shit, well, it was hosted by Ari Spears and Andy Steinberg, produced by Steve Merrick and Anthony Holmes, executive producer, Big Papa, Robert Kelly, and Matt Klein-Schmidt for the Laugh Button podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit www.spearsburgpod.com.